Sonoma County, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to talk about a very fun subject when it comes to home ownership and buying a house here in Sonoma County, because we know it can be a little expensive, and that definitely scares away quite a few people to dive into the home ownership realm, whether they already live here in Sonoma County or if you're relocating to our area and you're like, does it even make sense to buy a house? Where can I find something that's actually somewhat affordable? Well, good news. Today we are going to dive into a few different locations within Sonoma County that are the most affordable locations when it comes to buying a house and still wonderful places to live. We're going to give you all the details, kind of explain to you why they might be more affordable, what you're going to find, and how the logistics work within that area, and maybe it's one of the areas you might want to settle right into. Before we dive into that, I'm Morgan DeVincenzi with Sullivan Group Real Estate, and we help people every single year move into and out of and all around our beautiful Sonoma County. So if you are thinking about making that move and you're trying to figure out the affordability, maybe you're moving from somewhere that the price points are very different than what you're seeing on those home search websites here in Sonoma County, and it's a little daunting. I don't blame you, and it can be a little nerve-wracking, but let us help you. We'd be happy to answer those questions. My contact information is right here on the screen. You can call me, text me, we'll set up a phone call or a Zoom, and I can answer those questions to kind of help describe what's going on in our market, why the prices are where they are, what that wiggle room may look like for you, and maybe put some rationale around figuring out what your next home is going to be here in Sonoma County. So I look forward to hearing from you. Without further ado, let's dive into the most affordable locations here in Sonoma County. Okay, so when we say affordable in Sonoma County, I don't mean like you're getting a house for dirt cheap, because there is a very real thought when it comes to real estate, or pretty much really anything in life. If it seems too good to be true, it's because it is. So let's keep that in mind. I'm not going to tell you you're going to get a house for like $200,000. This is not, the Midwest or some other very inexpensive location to live. You still are in a very desirable, wonderful location here in Sonoma County. So the prices are going to be realistic to Sonoma County. But in some of these areas, you're going to get a little more bang for your buck compared to other locations within Sonoma County, and we'll explain why. So our home prices here in Sonoma County remain fairly strong because of the desirability and the location of where we live. We have wonderful weather. We have a great community. We have quite a few amenities of being, a large county, but we still kind of have that laid back, somewhat rural feel to our area. And we also have like a lot of luxury amenities because of the elevated lifestyle brought to us by the wonderful wine country living. We have a lot of, high-end Michelin rated restaurants, things like that. So it's really a wonderful feel here in Sonoma County to have everything you need, but then we're also still about an hour from San Francisco. We are maybe 2 hours from Sacramento. We got the ocean as our, most western border of our county is the Pacific Ocean. So there's a lot for anyone here in Sonoma County, and that's why if you've been watching our market over the more recent or more long-term, the prices are remaining strong and really honestly continuing to increase. So if you're thinking about buying a home, it's probably a good idea to start that conversation in depth about your specific scenario sooner, as year over year, the home prices in Sonoma County do continue increasing, which may make it continually a little bit more challenging to get your foot in the door. But let's dive into these 3 locations and see what location might be the best fit for you, where you can get more house for less money. First up, we have Rohnert Park, California. So Rohnert Park is a really interesting little town. It is the friendly city, that's like its slogan, and it's so true. It is a total neighborhood planned community. If you looked at it as a map, it's got all the sections, starting with A section back from like the 60s when they first started building, and then B section, and each of the sections, the A section, all the streets start with A, B section, all the streets start with B, and so on. And so all these little adorable neighborhoods, and they all have these great central parks, and it's a very family friendly feel. But the city doesn't have a downtown. they kind of forgot to build it over the years. They just kept building more housing. And there are some like very nice shopping centers. You got your Targets, you got your Costco, you got Walmart, you got all, you know, the basic of what you need. But you don't actually have like a downtown hub. And so for a lot of years, Roanoke Park has remained a little bit more affordable than Petaluma, that sits just to the south of Roanoke Park, and a lot of areas of Santa Rosa that just sits just to the north, because both of those areas have a little bit better amenities when it comes to, you know, dining out, wine tasting, kind of like, you know, the more lifestyle feels, not so much the day-to-day chore activities. You have everything you need for your chores in Roanoke Park, but when it comes to more of the enjoyment, it's a little bit lacking still. They're working on their downtown, so when that comes in the next probably 3 or 4 years, I think that's estimated to be completed, I have a feeling those home prices are probably gonna have a nice little bump up. But Roanoke Park, so as I mentioned, all these sections were built up over time, and up until current, there's buildings still happening in Roanoke Park. So there's a lot of different housing for a lot of different needs. So depending on what you're looking for, you have, you know, older homes on more spacious lots. You have like your standard 1980s 2-story, you know, 4-bedroom home, excuse me, on like an average size lot. You know, most of these neighborhoods all have nice streets, a good feel, but because you aren't in one of the, you know, more major cities of Petaluma or Santa Rosa, the price stays a little bit lower. So just to kind of give you an example, that if you were looking for a 4-bedroom, you know, 2 to 3 bathroom home in Petaluma or in Santa Rosa, you're probably going to be paying close to $800,000 for a home, you know, a used home. In Roanoke Park, you can usually find that for closer to $700,000, maybe $750,000. So you're getting a little bit more bang for your buck when it comes to those price points. Of course, depending on the neighborhood, depending on the updates, that's always going to be a little bit different. But just kind of to give you a little bit of perspective based on just simply the location. So when we keep talking about Petaluma and Santa Rosa, all of these cities are based right off of Highway 101. 101 goes north and south straight through the heart of Sonoma County. Petaluma is the southernmost city, and then Roanoke Park, and then Santa Rosa. And each of these cities are only about 15 minutes away. So again, I kind of mentioned that you can get more bang for your buck for a house in Roanoke Park, and it may not have a downtown now, but to get to the downtowns in Santa Rosa, which is a blast, and Petaluma, which I love, it's only about a 15-minute drive anyways. So is it really that big of a deal? You can decide. You can make that decision, but you'd still be getting a lot of, you know, close-knit community. There's really nice schools and parent involvement in Roanoke Park because it is a very family-friendly type city, and you're gonna get more bang for your buck for that property that you might be looking for to accommodate your lifestyle or your family. Next up is the Russian River area. So the Russian River area has long been a vacation destination, somewhere that people like to buy a second home. It's just absolutely stunning. You have those huge tall redwoods, you got the Russian River itself to go hang by the beach and enjoy the fresh water, and you know, there's a lot going on. They have a lot of events. They got fun little downtowns in each of the little neighborhood or in the little cities along the way. It's a wonderful area. However, it's a little bit off the beaten path. So if you're living out in the Russian River area, there's Forestville, Rio Neto, Guerneville, there's several other small little cities out there, towns. You're about 30 plus minutes, depending on your location, to Santa Rosa, where you're gonna have all your amenities. Now, out in the Russian River area, you are gonna have, like, there's a Safeway, there's some basics when it comes to, you know, your chores kind of shopping needs and things like that, but beyond that, that's about it. There's a lot of outdoor activities to go kayaking or paddleboarding, hiking, biking. You're, you know, another 20 plus minutes maybe to the beach, to be on the Pacific coast. So there's a lot to love about it, but if you are a shopper, if you love all those modern amenities, the Russian River area might not have all of those right at your fingertips. So for that reason, the homes there stay a little bit lower priced. And for a little, you know, one more reason on top of that, the Russian River properties are very seldom a cookie cutter standard home. We got some quirky homes out in that Russian River area. You got, either little tiny kind of like cottage bungalows. We have some like multi-level built on a hill. There's some wacky paint colors maybe. And for some people, that just might not suit their lifestyle. They may not be comfortable with the parking situation because you are on some narrow roads oftentimes, or just the home layout itself. So for some of these reasons of location and kind of the vibe of the homes out there, the homes stay relatively lower priced to be able to get in the door, but you get to still live in a beautiful area of Sonoma County. So a lot of times you're gonna get the 3-bedroom, 1 to 2 bathroom, anywhere from like 500,000, and I'm talking pretty move-in ready. 500,000 to maybe 700,000 depending on the size. So that's a pretty good price tag considering 500,000 in some of the larger cities of Sonoma County will get you a condo or a townhouse. So to have a backyard, to have a single family residence, and to have more, elbow room around you, you're gonna get a lot more bang for your buck in that Russian River area. Okay, last up we have Cloverdale. Cloverdale is an awesome city. It is actually the northernmost city in Sonoma County. If you take Highway 12, listen to me. If you take Highway 101 that goes north and south, as I've mentioned, all the way up from Petaluma at the southernmost, all the way up, it'll drop you as the last location in Sonoma County at Cloverdale. Cloverdale is a darling, kind of like little farm town, quaint little feel. It's got a great little downtown area. They got a couple fun restaurants and pubs and some shopping and a really nice community feel. They have a couple great community events that year round. They got the Citrus Fair and a few others that the community really comes out to support, and it's a blast. So you're gonna kind of have a lot going on in a really little town. I think it's got maybe like 9,000 people, I think, somewhere around there. And so you're gonna have just about all you need, but it's definitely not a big city again. So location wise, you're up the 101, so it's easy to hop back down the 101 to head back into, either Windsor, where there's like a Walmart and a Home Depot, or back into Santa Rosa if you need to get to Costco, or there's some of the other, restaurant opportunities or things like that. But Santa Rosa to Cloverdale is about 30 minutes. So if you're gonna be working in Santa Rosa or planning on getting to some of those locations in that area, it is gonna be about a 30-minute commute from Cloverdale into Santa Rosa. So something to think about depending on what your lifestyle is, but because Cloverdale is a little bit on the outskirts of the county, you get a little more house for your money. A lot of times people really are drawn to Cloverdale for some of the lot sizes or properties out there that, offer maybe a 1/4 acre, a 1/2 acre, or multiple acres, so they can have their little hobby farm or raise their kids and be able to have chickens and all those kind of different feels. That's kind of the Cloverdale vibe. Yes, there are some subdivisions and you can kind of get like your standard home still, but the Cloverdale feel is, places like Santa Rosa or Petaluma or Sebastopol, you're gonna pay big money for land. Big money for land. So if you want an acre or two and you wanna live in Petaluma or you wanna live in Sebastopol, you're looking at millions, a million or millions, where in Cloverdale you can still find a property with a little house on it and a nice little spot of land for under $1 million. And then there's plenty of, single family homes in the Cloverdale area that you can snag for, that $600,000 to $700,000 price point. So to kind of put this all into perspective again, the median home price here in Sonoma County as a whole is over $800,000 for a, your kind of standard 3 to 4 bedroom home on an average size lot. That's what we're looking at about right now. So in Rohnert Park, in the Russian River area, and in Cloverdale, you're gonna get a lot more house for that $800,000 price point, or get a great house for under that price point and make your mortgage even that much more affordable, which isn't that nice? I mean, you have to make that payment every month. So I hope this is kind of helpful. We do have videos on all 3 of these locations to give you a little bit more information about, more of the amenities directly in these towns, what you can expect living there, and the different types of housings more specifically. So we'll link those below. You can click on those. I hope you enjoy kind of getting more of a feel of these areas areas, if one of them kind of speaks to you and you say, oh, a little bit more land in Cloverdale might be a great idea for our family. Perfect. Learn more. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so glad. Hopefully this gives you some perspective on affordable places to live in Sonoma County. And if one of these didn't quite speak to you, there are some other small, pockets or neighborhoods within some of the cities that are also affordable. But for the length of a video, let's just stick to the top 3. And if you have any further questions, I would love to chat. Our information is below. You can always reach out, and we'd love to learn more about your scenario to find you the perfect place here in Sonoma County. So again, if you like this video, tap that like button. It means a lot to us. Hit subscribe if you want to kind of follow along and learn more about Sonoma County, and then even tap the bell so you'll be notified when we release more helpful information about all things Sonoma County and Sonoma County real estate. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time.